Okay, so we've been talking in class a lot about data analysis, how you can look at data and use data to find more information out. So what I'm going to do in this little video is talk to you about the spreadsheet and using Google Sheets and how you can utilize this as a calculator, so to speak, and be able to better figure out what the data or information in the sheet is telling you. So one of the things I want to point out to you is at the top you have labels like A, B, C, D, E. And those labels, if you click on them, really just highlight the entire column. And the same way with the rows over here. So row 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is important because if you're trying to identify a specific cell, say you're speaking with someone or talking with someone about the data, and you say, oh, did you see person that has no dimples and freckles? Well, looking through the sheet, they may not know who you're referencing, but you could say maybe the person who has who's in cell D8, so D8, and you can see that they have dimples and freckles if you look across the row for that person. Now the other thing I want to point out to you is the entire first row is a header row, so anything below it is labeled for that row or that column. I typically tell students to bold that row. This one's already bolded for you, but if I were to unbold it, you would see the difference there. So the other point I want to make is your other label row is all the way to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and bold that right now so that you can see the two sections of labels. Now 7A is labeling all the way across. So all the way across this is one individual in 7A. Detached earlobes is everything in this column. We never insert labels in the middle of a sheet. So that'll come into play here shortly, but I just wanted to point that out for you. Now, this has a lot of data in it, this sheet in particular. So as I scroll around, you can see there is a lot of information in the sheet. What I want to point out is there are some little tips or techniques that you can do in Google Sheets to help you better identify this stuff. So if you come over here, you can see these dark gray lines, and as I move over it, you see that the cursor turns into a hand. If you click and drag, you can move over a pane. So what that does is it locks this first column into view. Now if I scroll to the right, you see 7A all the way across. So when I move over here into the part of the data that I couldn't see originally, I can still see what section those individuals are in. You can do the same thing with the top row, and I highly recommend that you always do this. So I'm going to go to this dark gray area line. It turns into a hand. I'm clicking and dragging down one spot. And now as I scroll down, I not only have my top row locked, but I have my left column locked all the way. So as I get to the bottom, I still know what it says as far as the different traits for each of these columns.